Hey, what's going on? This video is going to cover 4 different lessons from Zern Mission 5. Now, in Zern, it's broken up into 8 different missions. Everything that you learn in 2nd grade is in 8 missions. Today we're covering Mission 5, and Mission 5 is working with big numbers. As always, you have a learning target, and that is turned into an I can statement. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to add and subtract big numbers. The I can statement is I can add and subtract big numbers. That means numbers from 1 to 1,000. I'm going to teach you 3 different strategies. 3 strategies to add and subtract all the way to 1,000. Today we are focused mostly, entirely on subtraction. Just on subtraction. The reason that I want to do that is because subtraction is harder than addition, especially using these strategies. So, here's our first problem. 469 minus 170. The first thing that you should know is that this is just like a problem written horizontally, but instead it's written vertically. You have 469, you have your subtraction symbol, you have 170, and then you have that line at the bottom, which is like an equal sign. So the problem is 469 minus 170. As you have already learned, you can use a place value chart to help. You have your ones, your tens, and your hundreds column. Just like when you use a vertical algorithm. You have a ones column, a tens column, and a hundreds column. And it's very important to keep those numbers aligned in that column so that you don't make any errors. Now our number, our whole, is 469. We can make that on a place value chart. I have 4 hundreds. I have 6 tens. And I have 9 ones. I always like to keep my tens and ones grouped into groups of 5. That way I can count them very easily. I see that I have 4 hundreds. I have 5 plus 1 tens. And I have 5 plus 4 ones. 469. I need to subtract 170. I'll start in my ones column. I have 9 ones and I take away 0 ones. If I have 9 and I take away 0, I still have 9. I'll write my answer right down here. 9. And I know that over here on my place value chart, I'm not taking away any. I still have 9. When we get to the tens column, I only have 6 tens. Another way to think of 6 tens is to think 60. But it's easier if we just think 6 tens. I need to take away 7 tens. I don't have enough to take away 7. So I'm going to borrow. I can demonstrate this on the place value chart by crossing out 100, drawing an arrow, and distributing or redistributing that 100 as 10 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if I add those 10 tens to my tens column, I will have 16 tens. Make sure that looks nice and neat for you. 1, 6. 16 minus 7. I can do that. 16 minus 7 is 9. Since I borrowed 100 and I took it over to the tens column, 100 is equal to 10 tens, I now see that I have 3 hundreds left. 1, 2, 3. I can take away one of those hundreds. That gives me 2 hundreds left. I actually forgot to cross out some of these 10s over here. So if I have 16 total and I cross out 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I can see that I have 9 and I have 2 hundreds left. 299. And it's always good to check your work. I go back and I say 200, I'll erase it on this side. 299 plus 170. Does that equal 469? Does the bottom plus the middle equal the top? 9 plus 0 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. I can rebundle those 10 tens. 100 plus 200 is 300 plus 400 is 469. I got the right answer. Let's do another one. $941 minus 587. So this problem should be a little bit harder. Let's take a look. I have a 1 in the ones column and I need to take away 7. So I will need to borrow. Always start in the ones column. I'm going to cross out that 4. Now I'm borrowing 1 10 from 4 10s. I have 3 10s left, and 10 plus 1 is 11. I cross that out just so I know that I've changed it. 11 minus 7 equals 4. 3 minus 8. I can't subtract 8 if I only have 3. So I'm going to have to come over and borrow again. I cross out that 9. I borrow 100, which is 10 tenths. Now I have 13 tenths. 13 minus 8 equals 5. 8 minus 5 equals 3. Take a quick look at your work. Double check it. Does it look correct? This looks good. Let's move on and do another problem. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit to something that I think might be harder. So this problem is 500 minus 213. What I'm always looking for is to see, does the number on top have any digits, are there any digits in the number on bottom that are bigger than the number on top? The digit 3 is bigger than 0, and 1 is bigger than 0. I can see right away that I'm going to have to borrow from the hundreds place. I can't take away 3 if I only have 0. And I can't take away 10 if I only have 10. And there's nowhere to borrow from the tens column because there's nothing there. So I have to go all the way over to the hundreds. I cross out my 500s. I borrow 100 from 5. That gives me 10 tens. But I still need to borrow 110 for the ones place. So I cross out my 10 tens. I take away 110. And I add 10 to 0, which equals 10. Now I can do my subtraction. 10 minus 3 equals 7. 9 tens minus 110 equals 8 tens. And 4 hundreds minus 2 hundreds equals, 4 hundreds minus 2 hundreds equals 200. I probably should have left that mistake on there because you always need to check your work. Come back, add the bottom number to the middle number and see if it equals the top number. So 287 plus 213 should equal 500. 7 plus 3 equals 10. I rebundle my 10 and I move it over to the tens column. 1 plus 8 equals 9 plus another 1 equals 10. I rebundle my tens and move them to the hundreds. 100 plus 200 is 300s plus another 200 equals 500s. All right, That's my lesson for today for Zern Math, lessons 14, 15, 16, and 17. I am just giving you an idea. This is how you should be solving these problems. Now, just for good measure, I'm going to give you one to work on at home. Your problem is 800 minus 463. Go ahead and give it a shot. If you need help, you can ask a parent, and let me know how you did with this problem. Maybe snap a picture of your work. It's really important to just get the hang of going to the tens column, see if you can borrow, going to the hundreds column, see if you can borrow, and with practice, it'll become second nature. It'll be really easy. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. And at the end of this lesson, make sure that you can add and subtract those numbers all the way to 1,000. If you're not, keep working on it. Ask for help. You'll get it. Keep practicing.